You put your bag on the scanner, you step through the metal detector, and you think you know the rules until the officer asks you to step aside. One wrong item in your carry-on can cost you time, money, and in the worst cases, an arrest. In 2025, airports are stricter than ever. New technology, fresh regulations, and harsher penalties mean ignorance isn't a defense. Today, I'm walking you through 10 carry-on items that can get you fined or even arrested, why they're dangerous, the mistakes people make, and how to travel smart so you never wake up in that nightmare line. This isn't fear-mongering, it's practical, streetwise advice for real travelers. First up, firearms and ammunition. This is obvious to some, but every year TSA finds thousands of firearms in carry-ons. People tell themselves, I forgot it was in my bag or I had a permit. It doesn't matter. Bringing a gun, loaded or unloaded, into the cabin without declaring it at check-in is criminal in most countries. Even high-capacity magazines, quick-detach holsters, or gun parts can trigger criminal charges. Consequences range from confiscation and hefty fines to arrest and federal prosecution in the U.S. The rule of thumb: if it's a weapon, anything with the ability to propel a projectile, don't carry it in cabin luggage. If you must travel with firearms, for legal reasons like transporting a hunting rifle, declare them, lock them in checked baggage according to airline rules, and follow local laws where you land. Number 2. Knives, blades, and improvised cutting tools. This category catches more people than guns because so many everyday items qualify. Kitchen knives, multi-tools, tactical pins, box cutters, and in some places even long nail files or scissors with blades over a certain length. Certain novelty or souvenir knives are illegal in specific countries and can lead to arrest. Even smaller legal variations, like non-locking blades under a local length limit, can be prohibited on international flights or trigger a police response in strict jurisdictions. The safest route: pack any blade in checked luggage, and if you need knives at your destination, camping gear, culinary tools, buy them there or ship them ahead. Third, explosives, flammable liquids, and reactive chemicals. This one isn't just about dynamite. Airlines and airports ban many common items like lighter fluids, large quantities of hand sanitizer gels, aerosols above allowed sizes, certain camping fuels, and some battery-activated gas cartridges. Even seemingly harmless specialty items, gas-powered curling irons or butane lighters of certain types, have been reclassified as hazardous and banned from checked or carry-on baggage in some cases. The TSA and other authorities have been updating rules around cordless hair tools and gas cartridges because of fire risks in cargo holds and cabin spaces. A curling iron that contains a gas cartridge can trigger felony charges if improperly packed. If you rely on unusual gear, check both your airline and destination country's hazardous goods rules well before departure. When in doubt, ship it or buy locally. Fourth, lithium batteries and power banks. Lithium-ion batteries are the silent hazard of modern travel. They fuel everything from phones to hair dryers, but they can also catch fire if damaged or improperly packed. Airlines generally let you bring spare lithium batteries and power banks only in carry-on luggage, and there are size and capacity limits. But there are plenty of traps. Spare e-bike batteries, oversized power packs, or a battery with damaged casing can be banned completely. Many countries now strictly enforce battery restrictions and will confiscate oversized units. If you carry spare batteries, keep them in your carry-on, in their original packaging or with terminals taped, and check the airline's watt-hour limits before you fly. Fifth, replica weapons, toys, and items that look like the real thing. A plastic gun, a realistic cap gun, or even a forged firearm part that looks authentic on a scanner can trigger immediate detainment and, in some places, arrest. Security officers treat anything that reads as a weapon on their X-ray seriously, because they have to. Don't pack realistic-looking replicas or props unless you have paperwork for film/music production and have coordinated with the airline and airport ahead of time. Same goes for staged explosives used in film props. If it looks like a bomb on an X-ray, it will be handled like one. Sixth, illicit drugs and certain over-the-counter medicines that are legal at home but illegal where you're going. This is a frequent cause of arrests for travelers. Think beyond marijuana. Cannabis is still illegal in many countries, and possession, even a small amount, can lead to prison. Likewise, codeine containing cough syrups, certain ADHD medications, and other prescription drugs require documentation. If you need to travel with controlled medication, carry original pharmacy labels, prescriptions, and a doctor's note. Research the laws of the country you're visiting. What's legal at home might be illegal abroad. 7th, stolen or misdeclared goods, antiques, and items that violate import-export controls. This can be surprisingly tricky. Some travelers buy cultural artifacts, ivory trinkets, or reptiles and bring them through customs without thinking. If the object is protected, antiquities, wildlife products, or items requiring export permits, you can be charged with smuggling. Always declare purchases, ask for receipts, and check sites or local export rules for anything made from animal parts, coral, or historical artifacts. If it's valuable or rare, get the paperwork before you leave the seller and carry it in your hand luggage. 8th, false or forged travel documents and identification stored on your phone or in your bag. Attempting to pass counterfeit visas, altered passports, or fake ID can lead to immediate arrest. Some travelers try to help their entry by carrying fake vaccination records or forged medical certificates. Don't. Many countries now have digitized records, quick verification tools, and real-time checks that make fake documents an invitation to trouble. Always travel with originals and official translations when needed, and carry printed backups of critical documents. Digital copies on your phone are useful, but they're not a substitute for real IDs and certified medical paperwork. 9th, content that violates local laws, images, books, or digital files. This one surprises people. In some countries, possession of certain books, films, or digital content can be illegal. Likewise, photos or material that are perfectly legal in your home country can violate hate speech, blasphemy, or censorship laws abroad. Border agents may search devices and, if they find prohibited content, you could be detained. Always be mindful of the legal and cultural landscape of your destination. Remove or secure digital files that could cause problems, and never carry illegal pornography, extremist material, or other banned content. And 10th, large sums of undeclared cash. This isn't an arrest for carrying money itself. Many countries allow travelers to carry cash, but failing to declare amounts above the legal threshold to customs can lead to seizure and criminal investigation for money laundering. The thresholds vary. In many places, anything above $10,000 or equivalent needs to be declared. If you must travel with significant cash, declare it. Bring documentation proving source and intended use, and consider safer alternatives like bank transfers or travel cards. Now let's break each of these down with practical examples, the common mistakes people make, and what to do instead. Firearms and ammunition. Don't trust memory. I've seen people try to get through with a small pistol in a locked case because it was just a mistake. Airports have zero tolerance. In the U.S., attempting to bring a firearm through checkpoint without following protocols is a federal offense in many cases. In other countries, penalties can include heavy fines and lengthy jail time. Airlines have clear protocols for transporting weapons. Declare them at check-in, ensure pistols, rifles are unloaded, use a hard-sided lockable case, and follow local law at your destination. If you're even thinking about bringing a weapon for legal reasons, call the airline and the embassy ahead of time. Knives and blades. Know the blade length and purpose rules. A pair of scissors in your toiletry kit can be fine in one country and illegal in another. Many U.S. airports allow scissors with blades under 4 inches, but that's not universal. Razor blades, box cutters, and any sharp sporting item should go into checked luggage. For travel with culinary tools, think ahead. Pack them in checked bags or ship them to your destination. If you're carrying a multi-tool with pliers and small blade for camping, remove the blade and put it in checked luggage or leave it home. Explosives and flammable liquids. Always check the hazardous materials list. Aerosols over a certain volume, camping fuel, lighter fluid, and certain activated cartridges are usually banned. The airline's dangerous goods rules will list allowed and forbidden items. Note the recent changes in some jurisdictions banning gas cartridge styling tools from checked bags. So cordless curling irons or gas-heated straighteners can be a problem if carried improperly. If your hair tool has a butane or gas cell, read both the airlines and TSA's guidance. Sometimes they're allowed only in the cabin under strict conditions or not at all. When necessary, remove gas cartridges and pack them according to rules, or better yet, buy a travel-friendly cord-powered model. Lithium batteries and power banks. Capacity matters. Look at the watt-hour rating printed on the battery. Most airlines allow spare lithium-ion batteries under 100 watt-hours in carry-on, and those between 100 and 160 watt-hours may require airline approval. Anything above that is generally forbidden. Don't tape batteries together, don't throw loose batteries into checked baggage, and protect terminals from short-circuiting. Power banks must go in carry-on. If you rely on a big battery pack for camera gear or medical devices, call the airline in advance and be prepared to carry documentation. Replica weapons and props. If it looks real, it will be treated as real. I've watched an actor get detained for carrying a realistic prop pistol in his carry-on during a European tour because he didn't coordinate with the airline. If you're traveling with props for a shoot, get a letter from the production company, pre-clear them with the airline and local authorities, and preferably transport them as checked cargo with clear labeling. Drugs and controlled meds, prescription proof is essential. Controlled medications like opioids, some stimulants, and even certain sleep meds may be illegal in your destination. Carry original containers, prescriptions, and a doctor's letter explaining medical necessity. Also, understand that CBD products, hemp supplements, or edibles containing THC are illegal in many countries, even if they're legal where you live. Don't assume legality translates. Check local law, stolen items, and protected artifacts. If it looks like an antique or contains ivory, coral, turtle shell, or similar, get paperwork. Sites protected goods need permits. A tourist who buys a carved item in a market and brings it home without export documentation can face seizure and criminal charges. Save receipts and request export permits at the point of sale when dealing with antiques or wildlife-derived items. Fake documents. Don't risk it. Airports and border control can validate documents quickly. Forged vaccination cards, fake visas, and counterfeit IDs are prosecuted in many countries. If you're uncertain about a vaccination requirement, consult your healthcare provider or the official government travel advisory, not a third-party certificate generator. Offensive or illegal content on devices. This is increasingly enforced. Some countries routinely examine devices and can detain travelers for extremist content, child sexual content, or material deemed insulting to religion or government. Always be mindful of what's on your phone or laptop. Clean out any content that could be problematic. Use a secure cloud backup and only carry what's necessary. Undeclared large amounts of cash. Declare large sums. If crossing borders with more than the legal limit, declare it. Bring proof of source, bank transfers, contracts, or receipts. If you're traveling with large cash for privacy reasons, consider legal alternatives, traveler's checks, prepaid cards, or regulated transfers. Now here are some universal travel rules that will save you pain. Check the airline and country rules in writing. Don't rely solely on a quick forum post. Airlines post dangerous goods and carry-on policies on their sites. National Customs and Border websites list prohibited imports. For the U.S., the TSA website is the authoritative source. For other countries, consult their official government travel portals. If an item is borderline, call the airline or the local embassy before you travel. When regulations change, airlines update policy pages. Checking 48 to 72 hours ahead is a good habit. When in doubt, pack it in checked luggage or leave it home. That old mantra is still true. Many travelers pack items they might need and regret it at security. Checked baggage still has rules, of course, but it's safer for sharp objects, large batteries when permitted, and specialty gear. If something is illegal to carry anywhere, Don't bring it at all. Document everything and carry proof. Receipts for purchases, prescriptions, emails approving prop transport, and airline pre-clearance confirmations are lifesavers at security and customs. If you're stopped, presenting transparent documentation often changes an encounter from hostile to administrative. Secure digital content and travel with clean devices when traveling to high-risk countries. Use a clean device and travel-only email accounts when visiting countries where device searches are common. Turn off cloud syncing if you're worried about content being accessible remotely by authorities. Be cooperative with security personnel. If you're stopped, stay calm. Arguing escalates situations and can lead to arrest faster than the original violation. Ask politely for clarification, and if you believe you're being treated unfairly, request to speak to a supervisor or seek legal counsel, but do so without obstructing officers. Know the penalties. In many places, ignorance of local law is not a defense. At worst, you can face months or years in prison. At best, you'll lose your possessions and pay fines. A few years ago, simple possession of a small amount of marijuana sent travelers to jail in countries with zero-tolerance policies. The time you saved by not checking rules is not worth the months of legal wrangling. Finally, a few strategic hacks for safe carry-on packing. Create a travel inventory list with photos and receipts. Use cable organizers for spare batteries with terminals taped. Maintain a small safe kit with copies of prescriptions and emergency contacts. And when traveling internationally, register with your embassy or consulate so you have access to support if detained. Airports are getting smarter, and so are the penalties. The things that used to be gray areas, replica guns, gas-powered hair tools, or unusual battery packs, are becoming hard rules because security systems and regulators have seen the accidents and abuses that result. Being a savvy traveler in 2025 means treating security like part of the trip. Prepare, document, and pack defensibly. Travel safe. Plan ahead, and if you're ever in doubt, call the airline before you fly. Simple question, simple answer, potentially huge difference.